Hey guys, we're back live with Nicholas Live,
Welcome to our weekly live stream.
episode number 2. Hope you're having a great day, everyone. And lost it already. Yeah, Nicholas, how has your last week been?
Well, good morning to my friends in America. Good evening to my friends in Europe. Good morning to the guys in Asia, I guess. No, it's middle of the night right
Yeah,
now.
I think it's like
But
10 in Asia or 11.
some very interesting developments happening this week. I think this is the single most obvious week we had in crypto for quite a while now. It was interesting because just a couple of days ago, the ETFs were withdrawn. They weren't like rejected. They weren't canceled. They were like the people who submitted the proposal took the proposal back. And it was interesting that the price of Bitcoin was affected by 0%,
Yeah,
That's
which
true.
ultimately shows the real sentiment of the market. This is a perfect example showing us that all the people who wanted to leave are long gone. And
true.
I think that was the most bullish week possible in a long time. And I just made a very clear video explaining how I believe we're about to enter, if we haven't already, the disbelief stage. That's what it's referred to in the Wall Street cheat sheet. And the disbelief stage ultimately means that it is the final stage that all the people who left, the new people are slowly coming in. The price is slowly going up.
Yeah.
And the people who left are in disbelief, saying that it's going to go down again. This isn't happening. It's just a mini pump. It will crash again. And people keep saying this, and it never happens.
Yeah,
So I just have a
the
feeling.
opposite happens.
I have a feeling that people are going to start saying like, "Oh, it's about to crash. It's about to crash," and it's never. This crash we're all expecting will ultimately never happen.
That's a strong sign.
Yeah, like you mentioned in your video, and also in January, everyone thought, like, so many people bought Bitcoin and crypto because they thought it's at least gonna go up, like, I don't know, double the amount or something, and then obviously it went down. So it's a lot of time it's the opposite thing happening. And why do you think the shutdown? The ETF withdrawal? Do you think it happened because of the? Do you think it has something to do with the shutdown in America right now, or what do you think could be the reason, or do you think the VanEck, they thought maybe that, like, it's not gonna get approved? Like, what do you think is the reasoning for that?
Well, I think actually my favorite YouTuber, Crypto Daily, he just made a video talking about this, and pretty much he just said exactly what I was thinking, if not clarified it even more. And he was talking how ultimately, if you're in charge of a huge company which is about to launch, and the industry you're about to launch in is just nothing's happening at the moment, you don't want to launch. There's nothing happening. So essentially, people think the ETF will start a bull run, but it's the opposite. Once a bull run starts, the ETF will come in.
Yeah. So they're also probably waiting for the right time and the right sentiment
to boost the bull market even further once it has started.
Yeah, but that's
exactly.
It's a very interesting point that like the market wasn't affected because days later nothing pretty much happened. So this is actually a pretty good sign. Didn't think about it that way.
And it's beautiful because essentially all the people who are left are professional traders. It's like the retail guys, they're gone. The hodlers, they're pretty much gone or have like vowed to like not look at their portfolio for next 2 years. So like if you're a hodler, you're probably like made a promise to yourself of not looking at the portfolio next 3 months or something. If you're a retail investor, you're probably long gone, like months ago, if not in weeks, right? And if you're a bad trader, then your wallet is empty. You pretty much spent all your money, and you're like gambled away all your money, right? If
Yeah.
you're a good trader, you're left, but all your money is in like Tether or USDT or outside of Bitcoin because the spread isn't enough for you to make a quick buck. And this is something actually a friend of mine said in the Slack. His name is Old School, and I'm literally paraphrasing exactly what he said because it makes so much sense. At the end of the day, the only people who are left are like really good traders, and all the good traders who use technical analysis, advanced indicators, follow the volume, follow the movement of wallets, follow the movement of the futures market. These guys have like this ultimate view, which is useful in other markets, and they are all right now agreeing how this can't possibly be the bottom. However, just by all of them like kind of agreeing at the same time, we can kind of sense the sentiment of the market and see that they have a really high chance of actually being wrong because TA cannot be used in Bitcoin. I mean, if you look at the chart, like the last step looks like a piece of staircase. I mean,
Yeah.
put technical analysis on that. You can't.
I mean, BART heads themselves like indicate insider trading and stuff.
I mean, we're about to like invent new words like dildos and BART heads and
Yeah, exactly.
like put them in technical analysis because nothing else previous that we used to use makes sense.
Yeah.
True.
Exactly. Yeah, and one next thing that is very interesting also regarding the next bull market that could maybe be a big thing in the next bull market are security tokens. Like what is your view on that? Do you think they, like, we had ICOs of course like last year and the year before, but what do you think about security tokens, maybe STO, security token offerings, becoming a new thing? Do you think they could incentive something?
Well, what we do is everything that happens in crypto happens kind of like seasonally or like in a wave. So because crypto is such a fast moving market, I mean, people used to compare in a bull market a day in crypto was like a month outside of crypto.
Yeah.
And right now it's not as extreme. Things are slowing down because it is the bear market, and right now maybe like it even might come closer to be a day equals to a day or a day equal to a week outside of crypto. But that's not relevant at the moment. But what's relevant is that whatever happens, there's always a fast moving evolution. So marketing is constantly evolving in crypto. Fundraising is constantly evolving in crypto. And one of the things that just end up being there that have to evolve are ICOs. And we've seen that a lot of people got burned and people were unhappy and blaming the legality of things because people have to blame something, right?
Yeah.
So all that's going to happen right now is people are going to get just an ICO with a different name that's quote unquote more legal. But at the end of the day, it's all the same piece of crap in a different package. Not saying all of them are a piece of crap. My full-time job used to be analyzing and finding gold nuggets in ICOs, and I was fortunate enough to come across researching 6-7 good projects a year. And this just goes to show, like, and you have projects, even in the bear market, you have like tens of projects per week. In the bull market, it was hundreds of projects a week.
Yeah.
So this just goes to show how many actual good projects are there, like 1 to 5% if you're lucky, but it's more like less than 1% than it's over 1%. So at the end of the day, sure, we have a new name, some new like legal paperwork. Did anything really change? Not really.
I mean, it's different. Like, for example, tokenizing stocks and doing security token offerings, like for stocks in some way, or for companies that like get listed immediately tokenized. You know, that could be a new way of like, yeah, of giving back or giving an option to the public to enter their project. You know, that we didn't have before in the regular ICO.
How is it a new option? I don't understand.
Like, For example, people that want to buy stocks nowadays in America have to be accredited investors, right? And through security token offerings or just security tokens, there could be just new ways for more people. So that's a new thing. Like that's one difference we would have.
Well, I guess we are just trying to tailor ourselves to a larger audience, and that's the whole purpose of crypto. Slowly tailoring to a larger and larger audience. Start with a small niche. I mean, same as I guess everything could be compared to Facebook. Facebook targeted colleges first, then slowly went after more colleges, and after different audiences, and slowly grew into what it is today. So I guess the same thing is going to happen in crypto, where you're targeting bigger and bigger groups of people, and slowly going towards world domination, world adoption, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Also the tokenization of already existing stocks and bonds could play a huge role in like maturing the whole space. Like take it a step up in
adoption.
In adoption, yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, at the end of the day, it could like being tokenizing your equity or your stock is just a fancy way of saying you're doing paperwork a different way. So it's not like nothing really is going to change. You just see people starting to use better forms of paperwork, better forms of storing stuff. You're just becoming a paperless world. So, and I guess the biggest thing crypto's offering is turning this world into a paperless world. Because stocks, as far as I know, I'm not a stock expert. As far as I know, like holding stocks is sometimes involves way too much paperwork. And while crypto does is eliminate all the hassle. So it's a necessary way to evolve if you're an old brick and mortar company.
Yeah. I think stocks nowadays, I mean, it is done digitally as well. But digitalized tokens offer a great amount of security, a security that was formerly held by notaries and all sort of paperwork.
We will see lots of jobs become obsolete. I mean, even notaries, truck drivers. I mean, with the development of like autonomous cars, like taxi drivers. I mean, Uber is pretty much the last string of people driving as a service. I mean, after Uber, the next step will be like cars without people. So I think Uber is the last chance for people to make money driving a car, like actual human being. So it's gonna be
it might be.
It's gonna be a really interesting next 5-10 years, and just not looking at crypto at all. However, crypto just happened to be at the right place at the right time, and it's something necessary. It had to happen sooner or later, and it's good it's happening right now, because right now everything is changing in the entire world.
Yeah, and also concerning like reducing middlemen and so on, like exchanges are I mean, obviously they're the biggest token holders, and everyone needs them kind of to get into crypto basically. And what do you think of decentralized exchanges also for 2019 or 20 becoming a big thing? Do you think that is something that will change and we'll use?
Recently I had a debate what's a healthy level of decentralization, and I think a good example is looking at BitShares and looking at Steam, for example. So right now, I just happen to be in the middle of this argument, so it's an example I can use. A person by the name of BlockTrades, he's a node or a witness in the Steam blockchain, and Steam has a parent company called Steemit Inc., which is essentially the core team of the developers, CEO. They have kind of like a mini dictatorship over Steam, right? But all the like information is decentralized on like 20 nodes, which are voted in like elected presidents. So it like involves a lot like a nice amount of politics, a nice amount of dictatorship to make sure Steam has can swiftly move in this ever so changing competitive world, right? But we also can look at an example of BitShare, which is a sister project to Steam, but they do not have a core team. Now that is because they left. That's a different conversation. They're fully decentralized. The way that stuff gets done is they have worker proposals. They have a fund of like hundreds of millions of dollars, or like it's like 1 billion BitShares or something. So it fluctuates depending on price. But it's a fund anybody can vote, ask to get a small piece of. But they have like 5 or 6 layers of protection, so it's impossibly hard for an average person to just, or anybody even to try to be a con artist and take the money in and use it in a way it's not meant to be used. There's lots of escrows involved, but that's pretty much a perfect example of a fully decentralized blockchain, right? And BitShares actually had decentralized exchanges like before they were popular, but I think it goes to show just the fact that BitShares is struggling to be in the top 50 at the moment. It goes to show that people don't really want decentralization. It's a nice ideal. I mean, if we really wanted to, I guess we could make something even like communism work, right? But people don't want to make it work. If people wanted to make it work, it would work. Yeah. But since people don't really want that, communism never worked. But also democracy, I don't think that even really ever
worked. I mean, in the last video, you quoted like democracy is bad for cryptocurrency. Like you were referring to BitShares, Steemit, and EOS, and the 21 nodes, and delegated proof of stake. So what, in your point of view, is the
delegated proof of stake?
Delegated proof of stake
is kind of like so I'm talking about politics here. I'm not really talking about blockchain. So blockchain is a different conversation. The delegated proof of stake is 20 main nodes, which is kind of decentralized, but not really. But I think 20 nodes is a perfect system which represents a decentralized enough place where the information cannot be compromised. But the fact that it's small allows extremely fast blockchain. So that's a different conversation. I'm just talking about the politics and the way the companies run. So the politics issue is happening right now in Steam is some people are losing faith in the leader, right? And they're proposing, like blockchains did, was a way for witnesses and for the average person to be able to influence how funds are spent by everybody having to vote on each proposal for funding. And that's exactly how BitShares work right now. And the point I'm trying to make is that at the end of the day, this is bad because you do need, like, first of all, you need to have like less transparency if you're like have a bunch of competition. Of course, there needs to be transparency between the investors and the company. However, between the exact details, what's going to happen in the near future, are sometimes bad if you reveal them, and then your competition kind of can use them against you, right? Also, you can't make swift decisions if something changes abruptly in the ecosystem, which happens like weekly, if not daily, in crypto. So you got to be able to make very, very swift, even very hard decisions. Yeah. There's lots of like behind the scenes, even money being passed around. And sometimes it is a necessary evil for you to give somebody some money to make sure something gets done effectively. And if you're like a decentralized blob, you can't really bribe somebody. I'm not saying bribing is good, but I'm just like using a very easy term to explain that sometimes money needs to be put somewhere like really fast and maybe not publicly.
Yeah, at the end, it all comes down to the survival of the fittest, right?
Exactly. We see companies like IOSD, which is just a carbon copy of BitShares with a couple twists, or a carbon copy of EOS with a couple twists. And don't get me wrong, I feel quite kind of positive about them. I still don't have enough research to say my final opinion. But these companies just popping up in the top 50, like left and right. And then if you have to see BitShares, which is around forever, not really being able to have like a healthy level of strength to compete with these new companies using the same exact stuff they've put out in the public for free and using that their like source code and just modifying it a bit and then creating a new project, right? Now, open sourcing is pretty cool. BitShares can also use some stuff from the IISD guys, so it's happens across left and right all the time. However, you do need some level of privacy as a company, the way you do business.
Yeah.
Right. And talking about another
So
thing.
my whole point, we're going back to our question.
Yeah, to the
I can never actually
decentralized
answer.
exchanges.
So I don't think people actually want decentralized exchanges. People want the ease of Binance. Like you see how much volume Binance has, and you see how much volume IDEX has. And IDEX is a really it's extremely well functioning, decentralized exchange. As far as I know, it's almost fully decentralized, but it's still not perfectly decentralized because Fork Delta was perfectly decentralized. It was too goddamn fucking slow.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of the trade-off you have to do. Either you have a centralized company that can do that has a support team and then can manage everything, but of course you don't control your own private keys. So that's kind of the trade-off. And I think the longer we go, of course, more decentralized exchanges will be built and will be better, but also normal exchanges maybe will even have better options and more secure options to store private keys, and maybe it will be fine to I don't know, have your private key secured somewhere else as well. Maybe, I mean, that's a lot of people have their funds on Binance anyways.
The beautiful thing is we see companies like, this is a really small example. It's not a big coin yet. I do believe in it though. No Limit Coin, which just announced that all the No Limit Coin you hold on their website, their platform where you can use it for the the fantasy sports and stuff. All the coin you hold on their platform or on their online wallet is gonna receive staking. So it's a coin you would normally have to hold, on your own personal wallet to do the stake. However, we see like advancements and competition, it's all constantly one-upping themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure in the future exchanges will also offer, like, if you're holding Ethereum and Ethereum becomes proof of stake, you will get staking even if you hold it on exchange. If you hold Neo, you will receive gas even if it's held on an exchange.
I think on Binance you already received gas, right?
Exactly, and this will happen with more and more coins as competition is a very healthy thing. Making sure companies keep one-upping themselves, right?
And Binance really seems to be on top, or it tries to be on top of all these things. Well, and what do you think of exchange coins like Binance Coin? Do you think that's an interesting thing regarding that? If Binance really becomes even bigger?
Did you know that ever since we were in a bear market, so this is since January, Binance Coin has 5x in its Ethereum price.
Yeah, it's performed very good.
If you would have sold every single coin you had in January and put it in Binance Coin, you would have lost only 20 or something percent, compared to 95 or whatever, 98% you lost right now.
Wait, you're lagging, Nicholas. 1 second.
Okay, just recall.
Yeah, guys, bad connection apparently.
Yo, guys.
Interruption,
Yeah.
and we are back. At least with your voice.
Yeah.
I had a call.
Here we go.
Oops. There, let me just put the camera right here. Okay.
Nice, there you are. All
Boom. Right. I had I got to see a girl in like 5 minutes, so.
Yeah, we'll
I
wrap
might have
things
to
up.
run, guys.
All right. So
yeah.
The question remains: how much decentralization is necessary? Makes sense, but that's a thing for another talk.
Yeah.
So I guess this is a question for the audience. I think all you guys watching and all you guys that made it till the end, thank you very much. I mean, this means a lot to me. It is we do get quite deep in these conversations, and the average person doesn't really have the attention span to follow all the details happening at once, right? So you guys rock, and I'm interested to hear exactly what you guys think. What is a perfect compromise of a decentralized application that has a centralized layer or centralized support system that's functioning right now? So I guess IDEX could be an example I would propose. If you guys have any, because IDEX has like the interface, I believe, is centralized. That's why it's super fast, and there's like lots of off-chain transactions, if I'm correct. But like the main stuff is like super decentralized. So I think it's a really healthy balance, for example. And if you guys know of any applications which you guys have used or are using right now, just post them in the comments. I actually want to see and find out about more cool applications that are decentralized or have some level of decentralization.
Yeah, guys, write it in the comments.
Grow together.
And see you next Sunday, or maybe we'll still give out the date because now the holidays come up. Maybe I'll be skiing. I can't tell yet. I'm not sure, but we'll definitely see each other soon. And thanks for watching.
Thanks for tuning in.
And have a great evening, guys, and also you, Nicholas. Have fun. All right.
Stay healthy, guys, and I'll see you next week from Poland.
See you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.